every one of these, professions.
They have that.
You need to like somewhere find time for yourself to just regain that emotional balance. Even actors,
Yeah.
I would say you get so much into the character that once you're finished with your role, you have to find that place of centering yourself again.
It's like even in therapy, we call that like a release. Very often, you hear all the Instagram therapists saying, feel your feelings, and everybody around you will be like, feel your feelings.
Yeah.
It's very important. You feel it, but at some point, you have to release it as well. And here, you must be feeling feelings and you're keeping it aside.
Yeah.
You're putting it in another box, but there is that time where you have to release it because, you're
100%, yeah.
it's getting you can get overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, that's the word.
you know
It does get overwhelming, and I think for all these professions, even for, I think you, right, as a therapist, you hear everyone's traumas and you try to sort through it, but their problems for them are your priority right now. You cannot get so emotional and get so overwhelmed by it that you break down with them, right? You yourself need to box it out. So it's tough, but as long as you have a way of centering yourself post that,
Yeah.
it's you're okay.
So, and that's very important, like in today's day and age, because we all are encountering like heavy emotional content.
Yeah.
Like one reel could be a funny one, but the next one would be talking about like the Kolkata rape case, for example. And we need a release. We need to figure out what works for us to release our emotions. So everyone needs to have those coping mechanisms, techniques ready. And I think that's where also mental health and therapy
Yeah.
comes into the picture. Know yourself, know who you are, know what works for you, and that's how you will know how to
Yeah.
release it.
True. Like personally for me, it's when I look at a story, it's like you do get overwhelmed, but it's not about you. It's really never about you, right? It's about the other person. Like if we're talking about that Kolkata rape, for example, you don't look like, oh my God, this is making me so sad. Like, to hell with your sadness, right? To hell with what you're feeling. It's that person went through a lot. Like, it was torture, trauma, not trauma, like it was murder. It was like the number of women. It should add that fire to you. And not just that exclusively, but so many other stories. It's about these people. It's about what they are going through. It's about what the justice they deserve. I'm talking about like any walk of life, any story, any circumstance, be it Black Lives Matter or whatever it is. It's not about you. You need to learn at one point in life that it's not about you. You can be feeling these things. It's great. You're sad, you're angry, you're upset, but it's not about you.
Yeah. So it's the empathy that you have in that
Yeah.
scene.
I think you just need to like take a step back and be like, this is not about me.
And that's the problem. Like people make it about themselves.
Yeah.
People make it about like, oh, but even I have this problem or they have this problem. And people like dilute the intensity that comes with it.
Exactly. That's the right phrase you use. Like the intensity does get diluted because it's like, what do I feel about this? How am I taking this in? Oh, it's too much social media for me. It's messing with my brain. It's messing with my chemicals. Like I can't watch so many of these same things. Like, yeah, after a point it does mess with you, but it's like, this is the urgency right now. This is what you need to be a part of. This is the movement. Like to make a change, you cannot just think, oh my God, like my mental health is getting impacted. Like, no, this is the need of the hour.
Exactly. You cannot just take a step back saying, I can't do this right now. Imagine if everybody
That
did
comes
that.
from a place of so much privilege, right? To say that, to be like, you know what, this is really not, this is killing my vibe. Oh my God, the place of privilege that comes from, like, do people even realize to say that, to not be a part of a movement that can save thousands of lives, right? Any movement, even the feminist movement is saving lives because it comes from like years and years of suppression and oppression and abuse. And not just that, like I'm just taking the very popular names for now, but there's so many other movements, even with like animals and PETA, like all of them have been like, oh, it's overhyped, but it comes from a place of a lot of pain and torture and abuse, right?